Okay, Sportsman's Warehouse Black Friday Doorbuster sale. I'm not one to kind of go out shopping on Black Friday, but the economy sucks and I'm bored. So I figured, what the hell, I'll go down. And they had something that I did want in the flyer. So I said, let me look into it. But when you read the flyer, and I think a lot of these prices are only for Friday, November 29th. It says online and in stores. So when you go online, over a week ago, they had some of these things listed, but even when I searched for the Stoeger Coach gun, I couldn't get it to pop up online, So this morning, the doors opened at 6 o'clock. So I figured if I leave the house around 5:30, 4:45, I can get there. I wanted to get there a little after 6. I didn't want to wait outside. So I decided to do that, but I went online and, they had it sale today, Black Friday sale. You click on it and it listed most of the stuff that was in this flyer. And there's more than guns. There's scopes, gun parts, clothing, boots, tents, all kinds of stuff. So then I did a search. It wasn't in that automatic listing when you check guns. Some of the guns were here in the flyer, most of them, but not that Coach gun. But when I clicked it in the on-site search engine, it came up for the advertised price. And I believe if you ordered it online, it's for today only. So I said, okay, I got to back up. But the only catch is I could pick it up at the local store sometime in December, about a week or so from now. So I said, let me go down and we'll check it out so I can report to you guys what went on there. So I leave the house. I arrived at about 6:45. It was still dark, and half of the parking lot was full. So, you didn't have to go around the back of the building or somewhere else. It was only about half of the parking lot, maybe a little less than half, not that bad. But there were cars there. There was nobody. One person walked in the door when I got there, and by the time I got there, I went to the store, got through the door, and I'm looking. I look over at the regular checkout counters. There's clerks there, but nobody's checking nothing out. I went and looked down, and in the clothing area there were a few people, like 2 or 3, and then over in the archery section there was like 3 or 4 guys, and then where some other camping gear was, there was a couple people. So I'm thinking to myself, where are all the people? I said, watch, when I go around the corner and go to where the guns and ammunition is, I said, that's where everyone's going to be in this store. And sure enough, when I rounded the corner, there it was. But there was some confusion. Now, during the plague area, when we had the big gun rush, that's when all these stores would have a number and you'd have to take a ticket and wait till they called you, and then they'd wait on you. So I'm expecting this. And it was weird because where the main aisle was, the ammunition was here, there's a line, and you went around the line, they had like the counter and that all roped off with the movie theater, little elastic things. And I remember there was an employee, I could see his head, and he's sending people to the counter. And the counter had about, I'd say 10 people. There were a lot of guys with their wives, so you had pairs of people there, so it looked kind of crowded. So I'm waiting in line, and I'm wondering, where's the little ticket thing? Should I go up and get it? So I'm like looking around confused, and I start getting the people in the line nervous because I'm moving, so I just stopped and I asked the guy, are we pulling tickets? He goes, I don't know. There's just a line. I'm standing here in line. I said, all right, so we're talking, and he goes, do you know what you want to buy? And I said, yeah. I said, I know exactly. He goes, well, I come here, I got like 3 or 4 things I'm thinking about, but I don't know exactly what I want, but I want to look at it. So we're waiting in line, and it moves, and it moves, and then they were asking, anyone who wishes to buy optics, a scope, or something like that, step out of the line, come up, and they had a person waiting on these people. Say they would come and take the people that didn't want a firearm, but wanted accessories behind the counter, and he would take them first. And then, they were up there dealing with the guy. As the firearms went, they had the one fella that would wait on you, and then you fill out the forms, and that once you pick the gun you want. So I'm waiting, and then once we get to where we're like the third person in line, there's a little ticket thing which they weren't using, take your number. And then there was this stand with a plastic sheet with all these little white cards in there. Now I was warned by a friend of mine that he went to one of these sales, and by the time he got up to the counter, the firearm he was looking for was sold out. And he asked them, how many did you get? And they said, only 3. So I said, ooh. So I'm waiting for this. I'm wondering how they're going to do it. So after having interesting conversations with the people, I got up to where we got to this stand. And the employee said, I'll tell you when to go up to the counter. He goes, these are the guns. There's a little slip of paper that had, these different firearms. I'll take this out. These different firearms here listed had its own little card. So by this time, I got there 6:15 in line. It's about almost 20 of 7. And so he goes, these are the guns we have in stock. I said, oh. He goes, find the one you want, pull the little ticket out, and then when you walk up to the counter, if you know what you want, just hand it to the guy. They'll pull it, they show it to you, and then you start filling out the paperwork. Okay, so I get up there, and in the meantime, a fellow got behind me, and we were talking to him. And we were talking, and the one guy in front of me goes, well, do you know what you want? I'm not quite sure what I want. And I said, oh, all right. The guy goes, well, I'm here for the Stober. And I went and looked, and I went and found this little slot, and I pulled the ticket out. It said Stober coach gun. And he's standing behind me. He goes, yeah, when I was coming in, some guy goes, what are you looking for? He goes, a Stober coach gun. He goes, he gave me this ticket. I said, you didn't get it from here? You got the ticket down on the other? I didn't, somebody handed it to him. And I was looking, mine had a number 2 written on it, his had a number 3, and the one in the slot had a number 1. So they had 3 of these items in stock today in the store. Okay? And the guy behind me is buying one, so 2 of them are gone. There was just 1 left at 7 o'clock within an hour. So that, gotta watch out for that. Now, why didn't I buy it online? Well, I'll explain to you when I show you what I got discounted. I had $14 gift card from a military discount for another item I bought. And plus, I was gonna ask them for my military discount today, use the gift card, and that lowered the price. So, I'm sitting there, and I go up to the counter, I hand him the tickets, and the guy goes, well, pull your gun. So he goes through the whole rigmarole, they bring the gun out, they unwrap it, they assemble it, let me look at it, I look at it, hand it back, they take all the serial numbers down, my driver's license, my ID and stuff, and then we start doing the paperwork and filling it out. And, I'll finish my story here. So, I got the gun, went and paid for it, okay? Now, the firearm was listed in here, well, it says $299.99, okay, is what the price is. It shows you a $50 discount for the sale, so $249.99 is what was rung up. Okay, or they actually did it $299.99 minus the $50 promotional discount. Then I said, do I get a veteran's discount? And the guy goes, well, I'll try it. It'll either take it or it won't. Okay, He runs it $12.50. So I got $12.50 knocked off. Okay. So then the subtotal comes to $237.49. Sales tax is $16.03 for a total of $253.52. But I still had $14 on a gift card. So I went swiped that and it knocked the price down to out the door $239.52, other than the advertised price of the $249, which with sales tax, that price of mine, it would have been $250, so I knocked another 14. So I actually walked out the door $239.52 when the sale price was $249.99, $10 under the listed price. So Koba scored, and that's the reason why I went to the sale. If I ordered it online, okay, I would have ended up paying, I wouldn't have got my military discount. When I go there, that's how I got that gift card. I said, do I get a military gift card or a discount? He said, well, you paid online, so it was, but I'll give it back to you. And he gave me the $14 on the gift card. So that's what I did. Got my gun, paid the man, come out happy. You know, I got this at the lowest price I could. Okay, and got in the truck. It was 7:20. So about 1 hour. I was in and out. Got what I wanted, got it at the lowest price I can get it, and on the way home. Because Kentucky Gun Company was selling these for $265 or $269 with the free shipping and everything. Okay, and I don't think he charges sales tax. And with the $20 to get a transfer, it'd be $289 something. So this was a deal. That's why I went to this. Okay. So let's go over, while I was there, what other people were buying, you know, in terms of guns, okay? Because while I'm waiting and they're doing the paperwork, the gun's got to go up on the counter, and then the manager comes, double checks the paperwork, serial numbers, and then you can check out. So there's a whole bunch of stuff up there that other people were buying. I seen a ton of Rock Island. First of all, the Rock Island Armory TM22 22 rifle, plastic, you know, the stock. They were selling a lot of those. I seen about 3 of them going out the door while I was there. And also, somebody bought the Pieta Remington New Army black powder pistol. The Rock Island M206 38 Special Snub Nose. I think I've seen 2 or 3 of them up there waiting to go. And then another Rock Island handgun. So I'm not quite sure what they bought. It was in a plastic case, unless it's something different. But a lot of Rock Island stuff was going. And the Rock Island Armory 45s, somebody took the ticket and they brought it back. I think that's what somebody was buying in the case, was the 45s. Those are $259.99. And the 38s were $199.99. So a lot of people were buying the real budget, bargain basement guns were going. Long rifles. Did anybody... Maybe somebody bought, I think somebody bought one long rifle, but them little 22s, the guy behind me was buying it, they were showing them, and there was a couple of them up on the counter that people were buying. Some people were buying 2 or 3 guns at a time. So that's what was selling, and that's what was going fast, okay? And it wasn't too terrible, like I said, an hour. Wasn't a bad wait, but the thing is, you know, by chance I got there. There was only 3 of these guns, and the guy behind me was buying it. So now we're down to 2 guns. So I said, okay. I told you, let me do an online purchase. So I came home, I got the gun with me here, I'll show it to you here at the end of the video. And I said, you know, I was looking at that 22 for $89.99, so I went online and I go to the sale. It says these prices are only good for today, and I looked, and they, had the 22. I said, let me order it online. So it come out to $96 and some cents, and the only catch is I got to go to the store, with my receipt, tell them I got it. And then they look at it. It's not gonna arrive. It's not gonna be delivered to the store here until the 19th of December. They said that's when you'll probably be able to pick it up. So I did order a firearm online on sale, and it's gonna be shipped to my local store 19th of December. So you could sit at home with your coffee and your pajamas and order something like this, and it'll be delivered to your local store at the price. They'll charge you sales tax, but there's no delivery fees, no transfer fees, no nothing. So you could do it both ways. So that's pretty cool. But the reason I went is because I wanted to get my military discount and cash in my gift card. So it worked out for me pretty good that way. But it wasn't that crazy, it wasn't that wild, but be aware they have a limited stock. And they didn't explain this till we got to that stand where this vinyl thing with pockets, and you pull out a little ticket. And you're looking, what's the number 2 mean? They only had 3 of them in stock. So if you're yanking something out of there and it's got a 2 or a 1 on it, that means you're getting down to the end. Alright, so let me show you what I ended up with. And I'm going to do a separate unboxing video on this. Alright, so as promised, this is what we had to go and get. The Stoeger 12 gauge side-by-side coach gun. Just a real neat defense gun, kind of old-fashioned, and a little bit more than our cheap Turkish guns, but I believe this gun is made in Brazil. Now, let's see. Arrow Creek, Maryland. Not quite sure, but made in Brazil. It's written on the bottom. That's the importer. Made in Brazil. So we have our Brazilian shotgun. Kind of go with our Roscoe revolver. But this is what I wanted to get. I got it at a price I liked. I'm going to do a separate unboxing and talk about this gun in detail. But, I got it at a price, the lowest price I can get it, and, a little bit of effort and going to the sale and everything else. But we got it, and I talked about it on one of my lives and asked you guys. I got less votes for this gun than for the .38 revolver, but that was our big adventure on the Black Friday Doorbuster sale, okay, and kind of come out on top on this one, gents. All right, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned.